What's up there, fellas? How you doing? Welcome to Famous Football. I'm your host, Nate. Let's talk football. Well, boy oh boy, is it happening or is it happening? Well, let's get into the latest in terms of transfer from Chelsea to Arsenal, Spurs, Real Madrid, everything that is kicking up. Let's get into it. We begin with Chelsea, of course. Nico Jackson have agreed personal term with Bayern. Ooh la la. Ooh la la. Nico Jackson have agreed personal term with Bayern. But the problem here is this. Bayern want a low move. Of course they're gonna come in with something like that, right? What's up with these people and loan, right? We want a permanent deal. We already tell you we want a permanent deal. Why do you keep coming with the loan option, What's your problem? What's really your problem? Yeah? But they agreed personal term with Nico Jackson, and now they're looking to discuss a possible loan option for Jackson as well. Chelsea don't want that. Chelsea want a permanent deal. But again, I also told you yesterday that Chelsea have kept one of their international loan spot available, because if in case they can get a permanent deal for either Nkunku or Jackson, then they get to give one of them that spot of a loan deal of the international loan. So one of them get to go on loan while the other one leave on a permanent deal. So is it going to be Jackson? Is it going to be Nkunku? Now, speaking of Nkunku, we know that other clubs are not interested in that. Multiple clubs now. Galatasaray is in the mix, and Leverkusen is also in the mix. So now giving Nkunku more option. But the thing is this: would they come to an agreement? I told you yesterday that Aston Villa is in the mix, right? And Aston Villa is looking to come to agreement with Chelsea, considering they can afford Nico Jackson. But let's see what happens with Nkunku and Jackson. But like I said, like the whole domino thing going on, they need those two together to be able to bring Garnacho in and Simmons in, right? But Chelsea are confident in doing that, bringing Garnacho and Simmons in. So let's see what happens with that. But then we also have Axel Desasi going to Bournemouth. Again, another loan move, because Bournemouth is interested in the players, and the player, they want the player. Chelsea valued the player at 30 million pounds, I think, or euros. And Bournemouth is willing to pay around 25 million. So now there's a little bit of a problem there, and now they want a loan move for the player, and Chelsea want a permanent. We want a permanent, but everybody keep coming in with a loan option. Then there is Sterling as well. Chelsea are offered Sterling to Fulham and to West Ham. Now we know there are other clubs in the mix from across Europe. We know Napoli is there. Other clubs are in the mix as well. So let's see where Sterling's gonna go. But I know Fulham is more likely, because Fulham is in the having a conversation with Chelsea as to him maybe possibly going there on a loan move. And now Chelsea obviously would prefer a permanent deal. Even the player would prefer a permanent deal. But like I said, his wish is one thing that drives people away, because he's on like 350,000, and right now there's no top club that's gonna come in for him. We know he rejected a move to Saudi recently, so there's no top club that's gonna come in for him and to put him on that wage that he's on right now. He's not at that level that he used to be anymore. So now, like, mid-table team are the only option that he's gonna have, especially within the Premier League. Leipzig has now asked that George be included in the conversation of the Simon deal. Not necessarily that Simon, or Chelsea's gonna give them money for Simon, money plus George for Simon. No, that's not gonna be the deal. The deal gonna be they discuss the Simon deal, and then they discuss George going there on loan. Now, this is the only loan move that I want, because like I said, I don't want George going on a permanent deal. So in terms of loan, I would want George going on a loan more, especially to Leipzig. I think that's a good place to be, for him to develop, for him to turn into the player that we want him to turn into, right? I think he could be a great option for Chelsea in the future. But Chelsea already looking to cash in on him, so they will want a permanent deal. So let's see what happens with that deal, right? Let's see what goes on with that. But again, I saw this for Jarrah. He went back to Ajax to say his final goodbye, and I think that was absolutely nice for Ajax to do, and even Chelsea allowing the player to go back there to be able to say his final goodbye to his Bournemouth club. I think it was a beautiful ceremony. The Ajax fan went nuts. They said their goodbye, they said their thank you. He also said his goodbye and his thank you, and that was a beautiful thing to watch. So congratulations to Hatos. He is a Chelsea boy right now. He is a proper blue. So I think hopefully we might see him this weekend again, right? Against Fulham. But we move as well. Yeah. So Tottenham has put in the bid for Nico Pires. Nico Pires is the number 10 for Como right now, where Fabregas coach. and they just won a game against who was Lazio. So they are pretty good, decent side, right? Being coached by Fabregas, so that's pretty nice. But they put in a 70 million deal for him that got rejected, and I think part of the reason that it got rejected, as stated by Fabrizio Romano, is that Nico Paez is expected to go back to Real Madrid in 2026 summer. So, and I think part of that would be the reason why that didn't go through. The 70 million bid from Spurs got rejected. We know Spurs is trying to find a replacement for that 10 position since Madison is out. They went for Eze, that didn't happen. They went for Muggins Gabe White the beginning of the season, that didn't happen. Now Nico Paez, that's also not happening because I don't think he's gonna go. If Madrid wants him back, I think Madrid is having him. Yeah, it's Madrid. That's not happening. So we all know that. But they are also right, and they are also now. Speaking of Madrid, let's stay on the Madrid play yesterday. We saw Rodrigo within the starting lineup. He didn't really have one of the best performances, right, ever. Right, it was nowhere close to him being at his best. We saw the little tantrum he displayed when he was pulled off, right? Well, he should be angry, right? And I get that. So it is reported that he told his agent to find a new club for him, to find a new place for him to be this summer. Now, with the few days that he left within the transfer window, can that happen? Possibly it can, because like I told you, Spurs were already talking about getting him on loan. Everything they paying all of his salary, whatever he's on at Madrid, they're gonna be paying it. But then we also know, like I said multiple times, City is also interested in the player. So does this move right here, does this statement from him or him telling his agent what he just told his agent, does this open the door for City to go in for him? Because I know if he have to choose between City and Spurs, he's definitely going to City, right? So is it going to happen? I think it's going to be a good move for him. Like I said, now he needs to play. He needs to be somewhere where he's getting as much playing time as possible. And I think he might get that at City, right? The option is that even though they have a lot of good players, but I think Pep Guardiola love him, and I think he will succeed there as well. Now, the Premier League is going to be physical, but I don't think that should be a problem for him, right? He is a Brazilian after all. But we move. Spurs and Arsenal are at it again. They are. Arsenal and Spurs are at it again. Now, Spurs lost the first battle of Eze, and now they are in another battle with Arsenal for Piero Hincapié, the Leverkusen centre back. Now, we know Spurs put in a bid that they want a loan move for him. They will pay his salary and everything, and they get to pay his release clause. They will do a loan this season and then pay his release clause in 2026. And we also know Arsenal is also in the mix. Now, there's not, Arsenal is interested in the player. The player is also keen on the move to Arsenal. Now, we know the player is looking to leave. Leverkusen is already told the club that he's looking to leave. Chelsea is not in the mix because Chelsea is not going for a centre back. The owners of Chelsea want Maresca to trust a champion like the way he did trust Liverpool, and I see what's going on now. Without taking Capia at Chelsea, absolutely, but it's not going to happen. So it's between Spurs and Arsenal. But I think him going to Spurs would be good, but him going to Arsenal may be even better now, because I think Arsenal is a better team than Spurs, and him going there. Now, we see Arsenal with very good intent in this transfer market concerning the business that they have made. Gyökeres is a very good addition to the squad. Now you can say Madueke offers also a good depth in the absence of Saka, or if now we know Saka is injured, but we'll come to that in a little bit. So Nkapie going into the current Arsenal squad, I think that's good, because him playing as a left centre back, we also see Arsenal trying to do the whole inverted fullback thing, and I think he can offer a good support or a good cover on that left side if the inverted fullback get caught in the midfield and then you need an instant recovery. I think he's good for that. He has the pace, he has the strength, he's good at defending, and he can also play as a left back, so there won't really be much of a problem with that. You see where I'm going with this. So that could possibly be a very good move for him, but he will need to take advantage of it, and Arsenal also need to take advantage for it. As much as it will be a good move for him, it will be a very good move for Arsenal, because he offered depth. Last season we saw, in the absence of Gabriel, QPR did well whenever he was called upon. Don't get me wrong, whenever he was called upon, he did well, but you could see something was missing in that Arsenal squad. And I think if you have somebody like him, now if either one of them get injured, I don't think there will be much of a difference because he is already a top center back, right? Coming into that Arsenal squad, that would be something. And then Arsenal, we know that there's a possibility that Gabriel might leave to us to Real Madrid in the future. Nobody should rule that out. So having him right now in that squad, this season will be kind of like his integration season. So if he gets to leave, you already have Nkunku there. So that will really be a problem. So let's see what happens with that. But like I said, Saka is injured. Does that cause a problem for Arsenal? Now I don't think it should, but we know he's their main man. He's their talisman up there. He's the one that they try to get everything to go through, right? So now him being injured, he's out for 2 to 3 weeks with a hamstring injury, right? So what's that going to do for them? We know they have Madrid. They also have the new kid, this out of 15 years old. He's also good. But what's with it? Do you think it's going to cause them problem? Because looking at the last few games they had that he's going to be out for, Liverpool, Nottingham Forest, Man City, then Newcastle. Those four. Like, do you think Arsenal can survive those 4 games with Saka? Let me know your thoughts about that, right? Do you think they can? Now, I don't think there should be a problem. I think they should still be able to compete, but we'll see because now they have Eze. Eze can bring the creativity. Madrid can bring down, take on 1v1 if they need it, right? So let's see what happens with that. Let me know your thoughts down below about everything we've discussed. From Nico Pius, Nico Jackson, Rodrigo, right? Nkunku. Let me know. What do you think Nkunku is going to end up? Nico Pius, do you think he might go to Spurs still, or do you think that's absolutely impossible? I think it's not going to happen. And then we have Nico Jackson to Bayern. Is that going to happen? Do you think Chelsea can get a permanent deal for that? Let me know your thoughts down below. I'm coming back. There will be another video later for you tomorrow for my Premier League review, right? There's Liverpool versus Newcastle that's going to happen later today. And let's see what happened with that. And after that game, I'll give you my Premier League review. Now, my La Liga review should also be coming up soon. But La Liga, usually, there's an extra day, playing, I think, like on Tuesday. So we'll see what happened with that. But my Premier League review might be coming to you very soon. So keep your eyes out for that. Much appreciated. I need it. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. I need it. Much appreciated. See you later. Thank you very much. Cheers.